Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially Tuesday, which means we are 1 week away from the presidential election. A lot of you have gotten out and voted early. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for utilizing that right to vote. And hopefully you penciled in, penned in, however you did it. Hell, licked in. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Let's hope. If you scribbled in Kamala and you made your way in here, what are you doing? 1, welcome. 2, you're about to get some truth. And 3, welcome. So, folks, a lot of news to cover. I'm telling you, it is freaking bonkers. I can't keep up. There's so much stuff coming out. Not just about things happening around the world, not just things happening in the United States, but specifically the amount of just crap that Kamala Harris spews. I can't wrap my head around. And then, by the way, we're also being attacked. Oh, yes, sir. Bald Brad is being attacked right now on TikTok. And you'll be like, well, why, man? Like, what'd you do? Well, I stirred the pot a little bit. You know what we do. Oh, yeah, I stirred the pot. Yes, yeah, I did. I posted a TikTok that went viral. And when I say viral, the thing's at like 350,000 views in like 48 hours or something, which is bonkers for us. Mind you, folks, when I just give you a comparison, when I posted that video, I only had like 300, 400 followers on TikTok. So 400 followers on TikTok, my video goes 350,000. 65,000 subscribers on YouTube, nothing. Weird how that works out. So anyways, people are upset because I was laughing at Tony Hinchcliffe roasting Democrats and people in the crowd and ethnicities and races just having fun. It's just jokes. They can't handle it. So they're losing their shit right now. So if you don't follow me over on TikTok, links in the description. Create an account, follow me over there because I'm posting daily, like sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. You're getting more content the more we're spread out, baby, because we got to reel them in. So enough of me talking. I see you, Krager, Dave, Pat, Dizzy, all over. Mizzy's over there. Miz is over at Rumble. God bless you. We got Stephanie, Terry, Danielle, Michelle. Franco's in the chat. Franco, shout out to Franco. Franco is our editor. And how many times can I say Franco? Devil's Advocate. Everybody's here. The crew's here. Let's roll into it. They're in desperation mode. The Democrats don't know what to do right now. They are losing their bleep, you guys. How do we know that? Donald Trump's holding a 1930s rally. It's in the makings of Hitler all over again. White supremacy. It's like, no, he's not. Please. The guy sat there in a Democrat-ran area and just had a normal rally. All of a sudden, his rallies are like Nazi holdings. I don't get it. They're just pissed that the guy sold out Madison Square Garden without having a single celebrity perform a concert. That was it. Beyonce has to show up for Kamala Harris, right? Bruce Springsteen on his guitar, which, God, that guy's really lacked a lot of skill in a while. He's hurting. Look, Bruce is great. Don't get me wrong. Old Bruce is great. I think it was Bruce Springsteen. That's who I'm guessing it was. And I think they had like Willie Nelson out there with his braided hair. God, leave the guy alone. It's like them like chauffeuring out like Frankie Valli. You know, the guy doesn't blink for 5 minutes on a time. He's like 97 years old. Leave the guy alone. So they can't fill stadiums themselves. So they have to call it Nazi rallies. When Donald Trump has had like 100,000, 200,000 people at rallies before, they never said that was like a Nazi gathering. Weird how all of a sudden it comes out a week before the election. And speaking of people that, you know, you just got to go away. Leave them alone. They're old. Just allow them to fade off in the sunset. Well, here's Bernie. The 1%. The Wattens. The Wobblers. The 1%. The evil. I don't know where that last part came from. That was neither Bernie nor I don't know what the hell that was. But spin cycle nonetheless. The Russians. You mean the Nazis. The Jews are coming. It's amazing. Spin. For those who don't spend their Sunday mornings glued to the television like me, and their Sunday afternoons attempting to dig through a week's worth of network and cable news media, the Daily Wire has compiled a short summary of what you missed. So on Sunday, with just 9 days, now we're a week out from the election. And by the way, the reason why I pulled this up was because all the stuff that was written in here is still going on. They're in desperation mode, you guys. They don't know what to do. So they're calling President Donald Trump a dictator, an authoritarian, a Nazi, right? I'm going to start as the Hitler youth. Well, they're losing their crap. So Trump held his rally at Madison Square Garden. They're saying, oh, it's back to 1939 again, the 1930s. Oh, it's so bad. It's so terrible. Donald Trump, he's got this big Rally going in Madison Square Garden. Governor Tim Walz, running for the vice presidency alongside Vice President Kamala Harris, told supporters in Nevada there's a direct parallel to a big rally that happened in the 1930s at Madison Square Garden. We'll get there a little bit later, and we'll connect this to some other articles. But it was just a normal rally. You guys, there was Jewish people at the rally. There was Israeli flags from the rafters that people put out at the rally. These are how stupid they are now, where they think that Jewish people would ever step foot in a Nazi rally. I'm telling you, they're like, well, there's white supremacy. There's white supremacists, KKK there. First of all, the KKK is the Ku Klux Klan that was established by the Democrat Party, still a part of the Democrat Party, by the way. Joe Biden actually did a eulogy for somebody that was a part of the Ku Klux Klan, if y'all remember that one. So no, it's your party that does that. It was the Republican Party that got rid of slavery, that wanted to end segregation, that wanted to basically end racism. And I'd also like to point out there's a lot of black people in the crowd. A lot of black people. There's a lot of black people that watch my show as well. They're calling me a white supremacist. Like, what? What the hell? What they do. That's how you know they're in desperation mode. They have nowhere to go, you guys. They don't know what to do. This is kind of like when somebody's losing an argument. They don't know how to combat it, so they just start name calling. Oh, well, fuck you, man. You're terrible. You're sick. You're racist. You're a bigot, sexist, homophobe, xenophobe. They're losing it. The Dems have lost their minds. And when you lose your mind, you say crazy shit. We've all been there. We've all lost our mind every now and then in our lifetime. So we know what they're doing. And when I say that sometimes we say crazy stuff when we lose our minds, well, that's exactly what we have here. Because Democrats are running in Michigan, swing state district, says, you, Americans, oh, what? Oh, well, you owe a debt. This is too rich. It's too early. It's too early. Owe a debt to who? You see it? There's a lot of people listening on audio that are working, right? Actually doing hard labor. I'm in their ears. Yeah, it says owe a debt to illegal immigrants. I'm going to say that again so it's clear. Owe a debt to illegal immigrants. Now, of course, it's coming from a Democrat, right? You would never be caught dead being a Republican and saying this type of crap. So Michigan U.S. House candidate Curtis Hurdle, a Democrat, of course, was caught on video telling a voter that Americans owe a debt to illegal immigrants, adding that he has no interest in deporting anybody. Of course not, because it turns into votes. Why would you? You have 30 to 40 million illegal immigrants present time in the country right now, which is more than half the population of our states. Of course you wouldn't want to deport anybody, because you know, percentage-wise, that 90 roughly percent of them are going to vote Democrat their first time voting. And a lot of them are going to vote in this election. That's why we got to get out and vote, make it too big to rig. What's going on, Shores? 1, 2, 3, D Shores, baby. What's going on, Drag? I see y'all in the chat. The video obtained by the conservative outlet, The Midwesterner, that's a cool name, showed Hurdle discussing his immigration policy. What policy? If you're like, yeah, I don't want to deport anybody, allow them all in, they're going to get the right to vote. There is no policy there. You're just allowing things to happen. Hurdle was speaking to voters at a meet and greet. Nobody showed up. I've said, for example, in the past, that we should respect those that have tried to come here, because even if they haven't done it legally, we owe them a debt. What do we owe them? What? I really mean, I don't know what he's talking about. What debt do we have to pay them back for? I don't know. But you got to love that, right? We should respect them. But they don't sit there and respect our laws. They don't sit there and respect us. They beat the crap. I'm trying to watch my language today, if you notice. They beat the crap out of cops, right? They murder and rape little children. They sex traffic children. They sell drugs to Americans like fentanyl that's killed 250,000+ of them since Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been in office. Like, I mean, the list really does go on, right? Out competing our freaking economy, or in other words, Americans in that economy. Like, they took the risk for their family. And there's nothing more American than that. Oh my God, it got better. No freaking way. Oh, the cojones on this guy. Like, they took the risk for their family, and there's nothing more American than that. What a slap in the face to Americans. Wow. Holy lordy. Does it get any better here? Asked if he would work with Republicans on pushing for deportations, Herter replied, no, I don't think I have an interest in deporting anybody. So there's the footage if you want from the Midwesterner. We're not going to play it just because I read it. But that's how Democrats think. I mean, that is a great example of where their party is at, where they think that you actually owe somebody else something. We don't owe anybody shit. I don't owe anybody a damn thing. One, I'm literally debt free, but I don't owe anybody anything other than maybe the Patriots for doing the Ball Brad show here because we got members, baby. Hell yeah, thank you. Right? You pay for membership, you deserve some content. This is crap, man. That's why you got to get out of vote. This is what they want. The fact that you have this amount of illegal immigrants in the country shows that your own government is against you. And case in point, what the Biden-Harris administration's policies have always been. Going against the American people. And all of a sudden, in the span of just 3 months now, really, it was a span of 48 hours, Kamala Harris came out as the new nominee of the Democrat Party without a single vote. So right there, just right at the beginning, they don't care what American citizens have to say. They don't care what your ideas are. They don't care about who you want. They nominated Kamala Harris without even doing a primary. They put her up. Remember, one of the worst VPs ever. Nobody liked her. Her ratings were worse than Joe, by the way. Her poll ratings were worse than Joe. And they put her forth. The same individual that sat there and had policies that made you second-class citizens, and you're seeing an individual here, part of the Democrat Party, that sits there and says that you owe a debt to illegal immigrants. Maybe that makes a little bit of sense now on why they're giving them $84,000 in Chicago. They're giving them all the services for free. I've always said this, you guys. Yeah, there is inflation. And yes, that was partially caused to supply chain issues during COVID that had long-term effects. But it also had to do with Joe Biden, with the breaking vote by Kamala Harris, because she was involved in everything, that sat there and caused the 40-year 9.1 record inflation, where you lost thousands of dollars. You have to make upwards of I'm going to be generous here with the interval, $17,000 to $34,000 under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris than you did under Donald Trump just to break even. Just to live at the same level as you did under Donald Trump, you have to make anywhere between $17,000 and $34,000 more. But don't worry, they're going to fix it. You know what they said? Just give us another 4 years. We'll figure it out then. Well, why don't you figure it out now? Why is Joe Biden right now, while I'm talking, on vacation again? If you have all these great ideas, why are you holding Americans hostage? If you have all these great ideas, why don't you start implementing it now? And let's see how great those policies truly are. But they're not. And she doesn't have any policies. That's why they're not doing anything. They don't have half a brain cell. But, they're just going to call all of us Nazis and Hitler and youth and all this crazy stuff that doesn't even make sense. And, speaking of the Nazis, you got an Auschwitz survivor, right? Blast Kamala for comparing Trump to Hitler. It's a wild thing, dude. It's actually disgusting to label Trump Hitler. Like, if you notice that, I don't label Kamala Harris as Hitler. I don't call her Mao or any of those evil people throughout history because she's not. She's not even close. She has some Marxist ideas that could lead to the deaths of a lot of people, don't get me wrong. But I think because our government is so resilient in the way that the framers and the founders created it, that it's very hard for a Marxist to sit there and tear down a country. Can they do it? Absolutely. Yes, they can. I'm just saying it's a difficult thing to do. It is egregious, and what you're doing is diminishing our past and our history. You want to know a crazy stat? You guys really Google this. It's going to blow your freaking mind. It sounds so crazy that people actually don't believe it. I think the age gap is 18 to 34-year-olds. It's either 18 to 34 or like 17 to 35 or something like that. It's like 64% of 18 to 34-year-olds, and I shit you not, this is a real stat, don't know or don't believe the Holocaust happened. You heard that correctly. 64% don't know or don't believe the Holocaust actually happened. Maybe Kamala's one of them. She's an idiot. So you got this 94-year-old who survived Auschwitz during the Holocaust, slammed Vice President Kamala Harris for comparing a former president, meaning Donald Trump, to Nazi dictator Adolf Hitler. Harris said during a CNN town hall this week that she believes that Trump is a fascist. She's such an idiot. She probably doesn't even know what fascism is, after she repeated a highly controversial report that has been widely disputed that accused Trump of praising Hitler. She also claimed Trump was comparing himself in a clearly admiring way of Hitler. Let's see what she said. Adolf Hitler invaded Poland when I was 9. Oh, this is what he said. Sorry. The Holocaust survivor said in a video posted online, he murdered my parents and most of our family. I know more about Hitler than Kamala will ever know in 1,000 lifetimes. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know her ass from her mouth. For her to accuse President Trump of being like Hitler is the worst thing I've ever heard in my 75 years living in the United States. Now, I don't believe that. He's probably heard some pretty crazy things, but I think it's up there. I know President Trump, and he would never say this, and Kamala Harris knows that. She owes my parents and everybody else who was murdered by Hitler an apology for repeating this lie. Well, she hasn't even, but look, I agree with you, sir. I 100% agree with you. I'm just saying, don't expect an apology, and quite frankly, I don't think he is. She hasn't even apologized for allowing illegal immigrants to come into her country, case in point, and kill Lake and Riley. She hasn't even apologized for that. I mean, I'm not saying she's wholeheartedly at fault, right? Because she's not the one that murdered somebody, but she took part in allowing this person to be into the country, along with a lot of other illegal immigrants. She has not taken any responsibility. You guys, I've been doing this in February, it'll be 4 years straight. We've been almost doing a video every single day for 4 years straight. Sometimes we're uploading 5 videos a day. We got Franco now as our editor, helping out. I used to be the one to do the 5 videos a day, right? Do this, chop it up, 5, 6 videos. Well, I've never heard them take responsibility in the 4 years of doing this. Now, maybe one time, but I don't recall, and I don't even know what the apology would be, but I haven't seen it. On a single thing, inflation, I haven't seen them take responsibility, even for the border. The most egregious of egregious, the border, they haven't even taken responsibility for. But don't worry, give them another 4 years. That'll make a lot of sense. Yeah, that will start adding up real quick. Scary stuff, man, thinking that we could have another 4 years of Democrats in office. And it's crazy because they go, well, we can't take another 4 years of Trump. Why? You did fine. You did fine. The market was great. Historic market. Like, inflation was like 1.4% when Joe Biden entered into office. The border he didn't do great on the border, right? He didn't do great, but look, the reason why he didn't do great, you guys, was because there's Democrats in Congress. They were fighting him tooth and nail. Remember that? Like him and Chuck Schumer were going back at it. And Nancy Pelosi. And Trump's like, just give me $3 billion. Remember, he was just asking for $3 billion. I should say just asking, but in comparison to giving Ukraine 60 every 2 weeks, guys, we're giving the Taliban that killed Americans. We're giving the Taliban's families 87 million every 2 weeks. Trump's like, just give me $3 billion. I can do it. I can do it. Now that we have Elon Musk, by the way, we can do fucking crazy shit in a good way. There goes YouTube. There goes YouTube. But it's true. We can do some crazy stuff with Elon. Elon, give me cement number 12, a mile down. Use the boring company. Bore that border wall, and I want it down like the freaking Eiffel Tower down. Build that wall, Elon. Take your rockets and go to Mars, and I want you to take a picture of the beautiful wall for me like China. Like China, the Wuhan. But, get Elon building that wall. I'll tell you what, he'll do it for a fraction of the cost. But that's why Donald Trump had a tough time, because he was fighting against Democrats. Now, what's interesting here is, if you recall, Biden and Harris were claiming they were having a tough time getting the border bill passed. But they had all 3 branches of government. They weren't fighting anybody. But don't worry, it's Donald Trump's fault. It's Donald Trump's fault. Yeah, Donald Trump's not even in fucking government. It's unbelievable. Yeah, that's right, I cussed. Might as well. We already said the S word. We did the oopsie. Look, we're screwed, you guys. If Kamala Harris gets back in office, it's not just us. Check this out. It's also Tim Walz's home state, Wisconsin. Wisconsin sheriff, we're screwed if Trump doesn't win the election. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. You're already screwed, but Democrats are still in. So a Wisconsin sheriff is warning that the state will be screwed if Vice President Kamala Harris defeats President Donald Trump in November. The remarks was relayed on Thursday by Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt as he testified during the House Judiciary Committee hearing in Milwaukee on how the border crisis has impacted Wisconsin. Remember how like, oh, well, it's just going to be the border states, California, Arizona, Texas, New Mexico. Like, you guys are just going to sit there and feel it. Nope. These suckers are north, man. They're now we got people in Alabama that are being affected. Ohio. I mean, these things are everywhere. So Schmidt, the president of the Badger State Sheriff's Association, said the law enforcement around the state were seeing a surge in crime and strain on resources. I was told none of that's happening, though, Patriots. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Waltz is from Minnesota. Yeah, you're correct. I was told none of this is happening whatsoever. I was correlating, I think, Minneapolis to Wisconsin. It's morning. Ooh. You got me. I had a Biden moment, okay? I had a Biden moment. You are correct. I appreciate it, Michelle. Thank you for having my back. Waltz is from Minnesota. If Trump doesn't win this election, we are screwed big time. People don't understand how bad it is. No, I do. Well, us Patriots do, because we cover it every single week. We cover it every single week. Oh, we do know how bad it is. Yes, sir. I'm fearful for my family. I'm fearful for the family of those that serve with me, he said, of dealing with an influx of cartel violence and drug trafficking. But again, we were told by Democrats, this wasn't and isn't happening. The most we get is, though, the immigration is a problem. It's been a problem for decades. Not in the span of allowing 10 million plus people to come in the span of 3.5 years. If Kamala is willing to lie on the campaign trail like that, can you imagine the stuff that she's going to sit there and lie about as she's president when things get a lot worse and a lot more crazier? They still think, you guys, speaking of them not apologizing or saying, hey, we're sorry, they never sat there and took responsibility for the classified documents that Joe Biden had. You're like, Brad, I thought he apologized. No, he didn't. We covered it here on the show. I did an entire saga on this thing. He blamed it on his staffers, you guys. He blamed him having classified documents still on his staffers. Now, your antennas, right, should be perking and going up. Why? Because if you recall, I'm going to correlate this to January 6th, since the Democrats love bringing that up, kind of gives us an opportunity to kind of smack them around a little bit. Remember how we kept seeing the same 4.5 to 6 minutes of video time and time again for years and years about January 6th, right? It was just the same clips rolling over and over again. Well, you might be wondering, well, hey, then we find out there's 40,000 hours, not minutes, hours of content. Why, out of that 40,000 hours, are we only seeing 4.5, 6 minutes of the same stuff? Well, because they had a narrative to push. And when it was found out that there was 40,000 hours and the videos that they watched were all timestamped of where they watched it, guess who the Democrats blamed? Do you think they took responsibility going, yeah, okay, hey, you got us, sorry, and going, we take responsibility for that, that was our bad. That was our bad. No, I correlated it to the story before for a reason. Guess who they blamed? Yes, sir, they're staffers. Oh, yes, they blamed the staffers for it. It's everybody else's fault. No, Lulu. Can anyone take responsibility anymore? No. It's one of the biggest problems I think we're facing in America. I call it the silent epidemic. Nobody takes personal responsibility anymore. It's everybody else's fault. Can you imagine, you guys, if everything that I did here that went wrong, I just blamed you guys for? Wouldn't that be crazy? You know what I mean? I mean, you would probably stop watching, but you get what I'm saying? Like, oh, sorry, guys, I didn't start the show on time. My camera wasn't working, but it's your guys' fault for my camera not working. Like, what? You know what I mean? That's basically what's happening here. I mean, everything's going to the dumpster, man. We're falling quick, man. We are falling real quick. Things are looking really rough with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden in office. Well, to get around that, folks, because things are looking rough, and we're about to do a story here on basically World War III. I want to talk to you about things that people are afraid to talk about. And the question is who's in control of our nukes? It's not Biden. No way in hell it's Biden. Ain't Kamala either. Meanwhile, we have Russian ships off the coast of Florida, a full-blown war in Ukraine and Israel. The war is in its most unstable people like and stay safe? How do people like you stay safe? Every prepper needs to have RadioGuard Ace. You've heard us talk about it in the past. The only FDA-approved drug to treat radioactive fallout. Only the feds had it until now. That's why Rumble partnered with 5G Free, the only company in the world that has supply of RadioGuard Ace and the ability to prescribe it prolifically. Get the radiation emergency kit with the Radio Ace Guard, potassium iodide, Zofran, and Geiger counter. There simply is no other tool in the arsenal, folks, to protect against radioactive threat. Go to 5gfree.com, use code STUDIO to save 15% and get your radiation kit now. It's a big deal because look what's going on right here. It's a massive deal. Details emerge about Israel's large-scale Iraq strike on Iran. The IDF hit many military targets throughout Iran during the early morning hours of Saturday, and this is still going on, in retaliation for Iran's launch more than 150 ballistic missiles into Israel at the start of the month. Now, we don't need to rehash this out, but I mean, they're sending a ton of aircraft, right? They're doing a bunch of different locations. They're striking left and right. And Israel's pushing back and by people that is trying to wipe them off the face of the earth, and they need to sit there and push back. And people are getting upset with the Israelis doing this. I mean, what are they supposed to do? Just sit there and let people bomb them? The Iranians, the government, the Ayatollah clearly loves doing this. I mean, the Iranian government is the leading sponsor of terror. I know all of you know that, but we do have updates on Iran. We do have updates on the supreme leader. Allegedly, this guy's seriously ill. I don't know how to take this because we usually get reports like this from these psycho leaders like Kim Jong-un of North Korea, for example. We've had a lot of rumors that have spread over the years, like, oh, he's sick. It comes out like every once a year. Oh, he has cancer. Or, oh, he's on his deathbed. Nobody's seen him for months. We don't know where he's at. They're saying that the Ayatollah Khamenei is seriously ill, and Iran is facing a historic moment right now of weakness following those strikes that took place over the weekend. As the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism considers whether it will respond to the strikes, a new report suggests that the country's leader has become gravely ill. Buried in a report from the New York Times on Saturday was the revelation that intelligence officials believe the 85-year-old Iranian supreme leader is seriously ill. The report noted that Khamenei's health was a factor the regime was having to contend with as it weighs the risks of responding to a vastly superior Israeli military. Or in other words, hey, if we end up actually going to war with them, we don't know if our guy's going to be around anymore to kind of lead the show. I don't think anybody will miss him. I mean, maybe the hand of God's having an effect in all this. Maybe. I'm a believer. Like you heard, God voted 3 months ago, folks, and he voted for Donald Trump. He voted for the Trump Meister. Other things we kind of missed that I want to make sure we jumped into. This is kind of a hard transition, but J.D. Vance slammed Kristen Welker for a dishonest question during an interview. Now, I would like to point out, you guys, that she was a White House correspondent for NBC. We covered her. It shows you again. And by the way, she had some good questions when she was White House correspondent. Like, she did some good things. But it shows you that what happens when you get into a role such as this, where you get the spotlight really shown in your face, you go corrupt, man. You go real corrupt. And it's sad because I got to watch Kristen for a lot of years. And I used to back her on some things. I feel like I was stabbed in the back, Kristen. Well, here's JD slapping her around.
You say that he's an adversary, just to get back to the question. You're not willing to go so far as to call him an enemy.
Well, we're not in a war with him, and I don't want to be in a war with Vladimir Putin's Russia. I think that we should try to pursue avenues of peace. I'd also call China certainly a competitor, but we're not in a war with China either. I do think, though, that China constitutes the biggest threat that we have for the United States of America, and I think that we have to be serious about it. But I think we have to be careful about the language that we use in international diplomacy. We can recognize, obviously, that we have adversarial interests with Russia. We can condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and I have, and of course the president has, but we also need to engage in some smart diplomacy if we're ever going to get out of the mess that Kamala Harris has left us in and get back to a posture of peace.
And of course, Donald Trump was president for 4 years while Russia was essentially invading Crimea. Why didn't he kick him out when he had the chance? He had 4 years.
Oh, I think that's a misunderstanding of the history, Chris. I look at that much differently.
There
First
was
of all,
fighting going on.
we had Russia invade another country, a sovereign nation, during Obama. We had Russia invade a sovereign nation during Bush's term. We had Russia invade a sovereign nation during the leadership of Kamala Harris. The 1 4-year term where Russia did not launch a full-scale invasion against a neighbor was under the leadership of Donald Trump. We also have to remember, just on that point, if Donald Trump had not given Ukraine javelins, the country would not exist as an independent sovereign nation anymore. So the idea that Donald Trump wasn't sufficiently strong on Russia, I think, is belied by the actual history of the period.
Again, there was fighting going on for 4 years during Donald Trump.
But there wasn't a full-scale invasion. I think that's important.
See the bias in that? It's really disgusting stuff coming from Kristen. Like, really, like she is better than that. And she knows it too. That's the sad thing, is really seeing how she's turned to just be a part of the machine, the machine that sits there and rubs the shoulders of the Democrat Party, will do anything you say, will try to make J.D. Vance and Donald Trump look bad. That she's correlating them going into new territory as when it was already happening. It was already happening, but it's Donald Trump's fault. Yeah, it's Donald Trump's fault. They just don't like the fact that the guy wanted peace. They just don't like the fact that he did a better job than they did. They don't like any of that. You guys find it weird? Let me know in the chat. I want to ask this. You guys find it weird that nobody wants to talk about Joe Biden's mental health anymore? Like, at all? That there's still a guy in office that has access to nuclear warheads? Nobody wants to talk about it? I do. I do. Why is that question not being proposed to the media? Like, I would love Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr. I would love all of them. Hey, just, pause for the interview real quick. Why are you guys not wanting to talk about Joe Biden's mental decline anymore? Like, why is that not? It was an issue for like 3 weeks, right? It was an issue. But you have a guy in office, brain's not on straight. So much so that the Democrats kicked him out, right? They performed a coup. Where is he? He's on vacation. That sounds like, okay. When I say it sounds like I'm being a smartass, no, he's literally on vacation. So, Joanne, I wasn't being a smartass. He's literally on vacation right now with all this going on. Why is nobody wanting to talk about his mental decline? Why is the media not asking Kamala Harris about this? Just a question. I know you guys care. Democrats don't. Unbelievable stuff. I'm trying to see what we want to get to next here. I'm kind of skipping some articles around. Well, since we're already talking about J.D. Vance, we might as well, I guess J.D. ripped Tim Walz for some sort of Madden thing. So J.D. trolls coach Tim Walz after the governor claimed you can run a mean pick six in football. I don't know what that means because I'm not a football fan. I'm a hockey fan. Check this out.
I saw that I guess Governor Tim Walz did a live stream of a Madden football game, professional football game. Obviously not playing; they were playing video games, and he did it with AOC.
Isn't that wild that dude's playing video games right now? God.
And I guess the goal is to try to appeal to the young male vote by playing video games online with AOC. And I don't know who came up with that idea, but I guess afterwards, because Tim Walz and Kamala Harris, they always like to talk about Project 2025, and which, by the way, is a complete dishonest disgrace. Project 2025 has nothing to do with the Trump campaign, and it never has. But set that to the side. He was talking about playbooks and trying to connect that to Project 2025, and he said, yesterday AOC, she did very good. She ran a pick six. I think you don't run a pick six. You run the West Coast offense or the spread offense. Or the 3-4, the 4-3. It made me realize that I think that even though they say Tim Walz was a college football coach, that I think I know more about football than Tim Walz. And it's appropriate because I think my running mate, Donald J. Trump, knows more about working at McDonald's than Kamala Harris does.
That's good. And he knows it. Look at his face. Oh, JD, well done, sir. Oh, that was a good joke. I mean, here's the thing. It wasn't really a joke, right? It's just truth, but... Did you guys see the photo that was circulating online by Democrats where they copied and pasted Kamala Harris's face onto another individual to make it seem like she did work at McDonald's? She didn't. She didn't. They're in desperation mode, man. And remember, what was so rich about that photo that was circulating was that they're going to sit there and say that we create cheap fakes and deep fakes. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the cheap fakes, deep fakes narrative by Karine Jean-Pierre? So here's that photo that was circulating. So here's the original, right? Here's the original photo. Just a nice little young lady sitting there with the photo. Mommy, take a photo of me. I'm got my first job. This is great. Right? All cute, right? All nice. Okay. Oh, well, there's Kamala. You guys, that's the exact same photo. Somebody it's just some work right here. Yeah. There you go. Here's the original. Right? There she is. Oh, nice. Look at the hands, right? They got rid of this here. There's like a monkey back there or whatever the hell that is. That was removed. Yeah, no, it's the same photo, you guys. It's the same photo. See all that working there? They removed the monkey. Replaced the head. Right there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can take this and just change the opacity and line it perfectly up with this photo here. But don't worry, you guys. Yeah, we do the cheat fakes. We do the misinformation, disinformation. You guys are talking about McDonald's, huh? Supersize me, Donald. Supersize me. Let's get into a little bit of the election stuff since, hell, it is a week out. Did you guys catch this story last night? I got video of it. I got to figure out how the hell this even makes sense. I saw this article. 2 ballot drop boxes lit on fire, hundreds of ballots likely destroyed. Did somebody throw in like a firework or something on fire? Let's look. So we got 2 ballot drop boxes. There's a tongue twister. 15 miles apart were lit on fire Monday morning in Washington and Oregon, likely destroying hundreds of ballots cast in the 2024 election. Smoke was seen pouring out of the ballot drop box at the Fisher's Landing Transit Center in Vancouver, Washington, which is just north of Portland, Oregon, which I think is a Democrat-ran area. So we got the ABC News here focusing on that. Let's check that out.
2 News. This is breaking news.
That breaking news, 2 incidents involving ballot boxes this morning. We'll start with what's happening in Vancouver. That is on the left side of your screen. We just watched firefighters pry open the back of this ballot box, which is obviously on fire. We were watching it smoke for the past half hour or so. This is at the Park and Ride drop-off ballot box at Fisher's Landing, right next to the C-Tran Transit building. We were watching police officers and firefighters sort of standing around this ballot box for a while, taking pictures. Then one of those firefighters just walked up with what looked like a crowbar, and they pulled the back of the ballot box out, and a bunch of ballots that are on fire poured out onto the ground. They're trying to put the fire out now. Obviously, it is steaming. It's pouring rain there. We don't know how many ballots were in this box, but obviously they are destroyed. This is going to be a big problem. This is happening again at the Park and Ride ballot location at Fisher's Landing in Vancouver. We're also tracking breaking news at the Multnomah County Elections Office. That is on the right side of your screen right now, where police found an incendiary device at this ballot box. We have K2's Joe English live on the scene there, gathering new information. That is obviously taped off as police investigate that. So big concerns at least 2 ballot boxes coming just 8 days before Election Day. K2's on your side. We're going to continue to track this breaking news for you.
Well, that was a thing. Here's that's the same clip, but I'll mute it just so we could see it again while we talk. Isn't that wild? Just lovely stuff taking. Isn't it okay? Does anybody else think it's a little odd that we have our ballots just kind of sitting there in a random metal steel box just on the street. I just think, I've always thought that was weird. Like, you don't really have random, I mean, you have ATM machines, I suppose, but that's also done electronically, right? That when you put your money in, it also transactions that fee into a text file, and that text file is sent to the bank to tell you how much you deposited. So you already have it recognized on both sides. So if that money were to get stolen from the ATM, that your money's not gone, it's insured, right? It's still good. We don't have any we have nothing here. You're just throwing our stuff into a box and saying, well, let's hope. Rather than going to a brick and mortar and making sure that it's like certified, that it's good, that it's scanned in, that everything's fine. I find it really odd that we do that. I ain't turning my shit into no ballot box. That's why I go the day of, and even that's sketchy nowadays. You know what I mean? I want to print out of my ticket. I want to print out. So we got quite a bit of election news here, you guys, and we got some updates. Here's some more stuff. Check this out. This is going to piss you guys off. You ready? You ready? I'm warning you. Nevada Supreme Court rules on counting ballots received after Election Day without postmarks. I told you it was going to happen. I told you it was going to happen. Nevada Supreme Court ruled that mail-in ballots received after the election without postmarks must be counted. It just keeps getting worse. So to get you up to speed here, Nevada, which is a contender, could go red, could go blue, is not willing to clean up their voter registration rules. They're having illegals vote in their state. This is not oh, what a right-wing extremist, just making stuff up. No, it's all fact. It is all fact. They're not cleaning up their voter rolls. There's illegal immigrants on their voter registration rolls. There's dead people voting from that state. There's people voting from properties that physically don't exist. There's also people voting from properties that no longer live there, that actually live in another state that are getting multiple ballots. All that's taking place. Now, they're having Nevada accept mail-in ballots without a postmark. You can't even do that on your fucking taxes, yo. You can't even do that on your tax return. You will pay a fine if you sit there and have it postmarked after April 15th, depending on what year it is, right? Because sometimes it's the weekend and stuff. You know what I'm talking about. But now we're just going to accept the ballots. Just, hey, whenever you want to get it in, not a big deal. Well, now this is taking place. If you recall, a Biden-appointed judge sat there and said that Virginia has to keep on self-identified illegal immigrants on their voter rolls. I'm going to say that again because I think some of you are going, there's no way in hell. Yes, a Biden-appointed judge said that Glenn Youngkin of Virginia must keep the 1,500 illegal immigrants. This is not like, oh, it might be illegal immigrants. No. Verified, not just self-identified as illegal immigrants, but also immigration paperwork to prove that they were illegal immigrants have to stay on the voter rolls. And you have this taking place. This is upholding a lower court's ruling just days prior to the general election in which Nevada is a key swing state. Well, it makes sense. It also makes sense why George Soros is shelling out thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to sit there and help people get their citizenship paperwork figured out in these key swing states only, to sit there and make sure they vote Democrat. I told you it was going to happen again. Did I not? Yeah, there you go. Jeff said I just spit out my coffee. This is some crazy stuff. I told you it was going to happen. We said it. It's not like, oh, good on me, pat on the back. It's just, this is why we come here. We said, it might have been like June, July, latest August. I said, hey, it's going to start happening. Everything in 2020. There you go. Nothing has changed since 2020. That's exactly what we've been saying. Nice job, ACDC. Exactly what we've been talking about for months. And so none of us are shocked. We're just frustrated because let the cheating begin. Exactly. Seriously, you guys, I have a cigar geared up if Trump wins. I have it sitting right here. A cigar ready to go. I will have a damn victory cigar if Trump wins. Because not only, you guys, is that a huge, it's a big thing for us, right? But it's even bigger knowing that you made it too big to rig. That is a whole different level. Knowing that not only Was there more people that supported Trump in 2024 than in 2020 and 2016? But we also came out in such large numbers to push back against the corruption that we even beat out that corruption. Even with the millions of illegal immigrants that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris allowed into this country and allowing them to vote, now we can't. But remember, it's illegal, right? You heard them say, oh, they can't do it. It's illegal. We're going to make it too big to rig. And I don't know, man. Makes me worried. Earlier this year, James Russell, Carson City District Court Judge, issued a ruling on the issue saying the public interest is served by ensuring that the maximum number of legitimate voters are counted. Well, you know what? Why don't you make sure that one, your ballot is postmarked and do your damn job, and why don't you make sure it's in on time? I mean, I've been saying for a while that they should be looking at signatures, and it goes for me too. Like, say I have like a certain signature, and then I don't put that certain signature on my ballot, it's not counted. Well, that's shit on my ass, isn't it? I probably should know at a 5th grade level how to fill out a ballot. If I don't, then maybe I shouldn't be voting. Oh, hand to God, if you can't fill out a ballot and you're sitting there making a decision on who our commander in chief should be, who could possibly lead us to different world wars and hopefully get us through it, I don't know. Maybe I don't want you voting if you can't sit there and figure out a fucking ballot. I'm just saying. Like, bigger things going on there. Bigger things. Way bigger things. So, I appreciate you guys in the chat. If you can already, hit that like button. Greatly appreciate it if you can hit that like button. Craig says illegals can vote without penalty. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, hell, they can come to this country without penalty. They could siphon from our system without penalty. Now they're voting without penalty. There's actually I forget what the state was, hired an illegal alien as a police officer. So now they're just full on getting your jobs. Crazy. Now, speaking of crazy, we have AOC back in the mix again. She's not going anywhere. There's rumors swirling, and I don't know if there's somebody that's kind of slipped or kind of messed up. They're saying she might be the next speaker. Could you imagine this broad as being the speaker? Lordy. AOC Trump hate rally was about inciting violence against Latinos, blacks, and childless voters. No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. Not at all. So here she is, all dolled up. It's just inciting violence on Latinos.
Well, there's a couple of things. As you mentioned, this was a hate rally. Mm-hmm. This was not just a presidential rally.
Oh, was it?
This was also not just a campaign rally. I think it's very important for people to understand that these are mini January 6 rallies. These are mini Stop the Steal rallies. These are rallies to prime an electorate into rejecting the results of an election if it doesn't go the way that they want. Because Donald Trump and that entire cadre of people up on that stage, Stephen Miller, etc., do not respect the law of the United States of America. And they either want to win this election or they are using rhetoric of taking it by force. Mm-hmm. That is what they mean, and that's what they're doing when they are inciting violence and hatred against Latinos, against Black Americans, against Americans who don't have children, you have J.D. Vance literally talking about watering down people's right to vote, depending on if they can viably carry a child or not. We have to understand how unhinged this campaign has gotten, and the only reason that the rhetoric has gotten this far is precisely because they are trying to prime the kind of froth that led up to the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
Oh, so freaking good. That was so good. No. She actually... Here's the thing. Let me catch my breath. She actually thinks that we're taking her seriously. Yeah, no, we're not. She's lost her mind. It was a comedy bit. She just did a great set. She's playing MSNDNC, man. Oh, get me on that stage too, AOC. Oh my God, that was great. You know what? I'm glad we played it. I'm awake now. Yeah, no, that was good. Oh my God. It's mini. The great part was, the great part was when she said there were mini January 6 rallies. Oh, I really want to play it again, but I know you guys don't want to hear it. They're genuine. People go, oh, he's make believe laughing. No, I don't. When I'm going like that, I'm wiping tears from my eyes. Oh, this was a hate rally. Hey, hold on, please. Just indulge me for a second. Yeah, I don't know where she gets these things from. I don't know either. Hold on, sweating. Quote, I'm gonna get through this. Quote, they are inciting violence and hatred against Latinos. No, they're not. There's a lot of Latinos in the crowd. Against Black Americans. This is so good. So ridiculous. And this is it. The only reason that their rhetoric has gotten this far, our rhetoric, you're calling us Nazis. You're literally saying it's a Nazi rally, but our rhetoric, you're right. Is precisely because they are trying to prime, if you guys are curious where I'm getting this, trying to prime the kind of both of froth that led up to the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Oh, God, she's gone. Oh, when did you think, like, Elon Musk, he just goes, yeah. They call people from all backgrounds, races, religions, etc. have a great time at a huge event, a hate rally. Like, when do you think it went wrong for her? You know what I mean? Like, no, seriously. Did she go to like Boston College or something like that and work as a bartender? Yeah, the big booty Latina, the 99 pimp on a blimp, Alex Stein. I tried getting on a show, by the way. They never got back to me. I mean, I talked to the producer, but they never got back to me. So if you guys have connections, let me know. What happened? You know, like pretty girl. You guys, she's not all that dumb. Do you know what I mean? She's actually pretty smart, believe it or not. Like, really, no, seriously, she plays this game really well. She knows what she's doing. Not a lady you want to get with, though. That is a manipulator, my folks, my friends, my patriots. That is a manipulator. That is a woman that will manipulate the crap out of you. Big time. Oh, big time. Now, I do want to get up to some updates here on what I quoted earlier. We have this saga continuing with Virginia. And as I stated previously, Glenn Youngkin was trying to get these illegal immigrants off the voter rolls so they're not able to vote. No shocker there, no big deal. That makes sense to me. You're not part of the country, so you shouldn't be able to vote. You don't have that right. Well, as I mentioned, a Biden-appointed judge said, no, sir. You got to keep them on the voter rolls. They get the vote. And Glenn Youngkin just the other day goes, well, shit, what are we going to do? We got an update. It's common sense. Virginia asked the Supreme Court to allow removal of non-citizens from voter rolls. I don't know how the Supreme Court doesn't step in here and just start taking in all these, because that should not be allowed. Virginia filed an appeal in the U.S. Supreme Court after Biden-appointed judge ruled last week that the Commonwealth must put non-citizens back on its voter rolls. Isn't that insane that I'm even reading that? Wasn't that wild? She retracted it. It didn't get deleted. She retracted it. Peggy. Or sorry, not Peggy. Danielle. She retracted it, not me. Put non-citizens back on its voter rolls just days before the 2024 election. U.S. judge ordered was kept in place by a federal judge appeals that we read before. So in a unanimous ruling, the three judges on the appeals court said, so it's unanimous, isn't that insane? There's three of them, that the process for removing non-citizens during a 20-day quiet period before the election by using data from the Department of Motor Vehicles appears to violate the National Voter Registration Act. So we're going to keep illegals on there. No big deal. So it wasn't just like one, it was three. That makes things even worse. So he sat there and he's appealing to the Supreme Court. Okay. So that's what's going on there. That's the update. Will they get to it in time? Probably not. Probably not. But we got massive issues here. Can anyone just get to the point? Can't watch these videos. There's too much yapping. Well, John, you can leave. So what you guys will notice is it's astonishing thing. It's an astonishing thing Exactly. No one's forcing John to be here, but somehow they weasel their way in. This is, if you guys read our comments, really, one, leave a comment after the video ends. But what you guys will have a lot of fun in the comment section. Oh, I have a blast. You have people that will come in and they'll go, oh, this guy talks too much. Yeah, because I'll do like reactionary videos, like reactionary commentary, right? Kind of like we did with Tony Hinchcliffe or the JD Vance interview with, was it CNN or Jake Tapper or whatever. And the whole premise of this channel, like literally the whole point of this channel is to go over news and then as the host of the show, do entertainment, right? But give you the news and give what? Commentary. Yes. John, you idiot. Guys, I'm telling you, these people are not with us. You have to, please, you have to understand. They don't know how anything works. Even a YouTube show, they don't know how any of this works. An actual commentary show says the person's talking too much. These people vote. These people vote, and they are roaming around with the rest of us. It is a remarkable thing. John's already gone. John couldn't take it. John couldn't handle the truth. Well, you know what? Let me find the article. We're going to piss John off here. So you know this is going to trigger his ass. Here we go. Watch ex-Trump ICE director's viral take on deporting without family separation. Here you go, John. This one's for you. We're jumping far ahead here, but this one's strictly for you, John, because I want to trigger your ass right now. Here we go.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Damn!
We have...
Whoa! Oh, shit.
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Oh my God. Oh, that is a Thug Life video. Franco, make that our short and put the Thug Life glasses coming down, the whole shebang. That is today's short right there. Damn. Wow. Dude, he did not give 2 Fs when he said that. Sure, they could be deported together. Oh my God. Oh, Brad, you're saying to thousands what we would say to the masses. Thanks for being the voice of reason for us. No, thank you so much. You guys make me, you're buttering me up. You're buttering me up. Thank you. That's really kind of you. Thank you. I like to say that I just speak common sense. I feel like I don't say anything too crazy, right? I'm not asking for people to be harmed. I'm not asking for people to be hurt. I'm not asking for any of that. I just want everybody to be safe. That's literally all I want. Secure the border. Come in legally. It's not fair that you get to cut line in front of other people. That's just being an asshole. And just do things the right way. That's all. I want both sides to vote the correct way, legally. I would like election integrity. That helps Democrats and Republicans, by the way. I don't feel like we say anything crazy here. Hey, I don't want you to be murdered, you and your family. What? What do you mean, you bigot? You don't want us to be murdered? Puh. That's how these people think, man. It's freaking bonkers, dude. Bonkers. Don't we spend $52 billion a year for the illegal? Oh, more than that. They're undercutting this, by the way. There's I think it's $250 billion a year, somewhere in that range. Like close to $1 trillion by Joe Biden's by the time Joe Biden's out of office. Yeah, they're undercutting the number, big time, big time. So that is today's show, folks. We had one Democrat / I think it's more of a liberal, progressive lefty that. Let me rephrase this because they're going to get upset. Oh, you're not being specific enough. Democrats and liberals aren't the same. And a leftist came into our chat and was upset that we were speaking truth. And the idiot was so far gone that he was upset because a commentator of a podcast was commentating too much. Weird. You know, let's plug Sticker Pack really quick, you guys, because it's free. grab these up. Get these stickers. It'll only trigger more. You have this on your stuff, your phone, everywhere. They'll get triggered. Are you ready to show your support and style, baby? Sticker Mule has a fantastic offer just for you. For a limited time, you can grab free Trump stickers. You guys, there's no gimmick here. Free Trump stickers. Yes, you heard that correctly. Free. Whether you want to decorate your laptop, your car, your office space, the helmet of a Democrat, these high quality, durable stickers are perfect for making a statement. That wasn't part of the read. I'm so sorry. Just imagine how great they'll look. And they're super easy to apply. Here's how it works. Head over to stickerpack.com, sign up and claim your free stickers and watch the fun unfold. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Stock is limited, so act fast because it's free. Spread the word and let your voice be heard with Sticker Mule's awesome stickers. I'm still laughing at my joke. I'm so sorry. Once again, visit stickerpack.com today and grab your free Trump stickers before they are gone. I'm so sorry. I just picture you guys. I just picture you guys putting stickers on Democrats' helmets. Oh my God. Oh. Holy shit. That's the best ad read we've done. That's fucking the best ad read we've done. Lulu, thank you so much. I'm glad somebody else thought it was funny. Guys, this is my real personality, by the way. Like, I laugh at everything. I don't think you guys see that enough. I genuinely love comedy. I love laughing. It's hard for me to be serious. So let's get serious. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this show. Hopefully you guys had a good time. I got a headache now. Terry, thank you for the $1.99. Thank you for the thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. And I do mean that in all sincerity. Don't play it off because I'm laughing. I just Democrats with helmets on and stickers. Like, like you put on the back of their helmet, they don't know. Like one of those kick me signs, you know what I'm talking about? But it's just Trump, MAGA. Alrighty, well, folks, thank you so much for watching the show. We'll be back here tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. As always, follow me over on TikTok. We got a lot of contentious content coming out, clearly, where Democrats are being triggered. They're like tagging me on each other, right? Talking shit. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. With that being said, God bless. Hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us over at Rumble, folks. And with that being said, I'll see you tomorrow here. A little more Bob Bradshaw. Take care.